everybody, my name is Leia and I'm coming to you live from the comfort of my couch. So this is my first ever YouTube video. It's actually gonna be a story time. I didn't want to start my YouTube channel this way, but I think it would make more sense because in this story time I'm gonna be explaining how and why I ran away to China. And you know, a lot of my videos at the beginning are gonna be centered around China because I think I have some infos and some cool stories to share. So like I said, in this video I'm going to be telling you guys about why and how I successfully managed to run away to China. Not that I'm saying y'all should do it, but if you're considering it, you might have come to the right place. Basically, this is how it started. June 2016, I just graduated from high school. I was pumped about moving away from Ethiopia, where I was born and raised. You know, I attended a French school there. So the next logical step for me was to move to France to actually, go to uni, etc., etc. And, bruh, and I kind of died there. And, bruh, I don't know what kind of, I don't even think my expectations were that unrealistic. But I just thought that in uni, we would magically all mature over the summer, and that in September we would all be fresh and ready for a new start. We just got out of prison. I thought everyone would be in the same mindset. We'd be like, oh, I want to meet new people. I want to start living that college dream life. I want to go party. I want to study. Yeah. I was so sadly mistaken. France isn't really like that. First of all, there's no there aren't any dorms, so you can forget about roommates and all that partying in the dorm room, lounge room, etc. But mainly is that it's really different here. The unis are just buildings separated and just thrown about the city, except for some unis that actually have campuses. And first of all, most of them look like old ass hospitals. Winnie, I keep saying so much. That was a happy moment from Marinik, my lovely assistant who's supervising the making of this video. Look, regardless, it was shit, okay? It was horrible. I would try to talk to my classmates, they were all like, what does African child do? Well, no, they weren't actually like that, by the way. I'm not saying they were racist, not at all. But they were just like, we don't got time for you. We have our own friends. We've been living in France all our lives. But I'm not trying to make new friends. And I was just lonely. I'm so lonely. Well, I had Mary over here, but Anyway, back to the point.
Okay, Mary.
You're Mary. What the
Je m'appelle Mary.
Okay, I had Marianique over there, commonly known as Mary for non-French speakers. We're debating whether her name is Mary or not. I'm just used to calling her Mary in front of non-French speakers, in front of non-French speakers. So you're Mary, bruh, for YouTube. Anyway, back to the story. Anyway, as I was saying, it was shit. I wasn't meeting any people, and actually I just chose to major in English because I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was like, okay, you know what, I'm kind of bilingual, let's just choose the easy way out so I could have the time to actually try to find out what I wanted to do. And boy, was I mistaken. It took me a month to start hating Lille. I was like, this place sucks, it's small, it's cold AF. I lived in Africa all my life, bro. I could not have. It was my first time. It was the first time in my life that I ever experienced winter. I was thanking my mom every day because she give me a bunch of gabbies. I have 6 of these. I felt really good. Winter was awful. I didn't have any new friends. Thank God I had some friends from high school who were also in the same city, because otherwise I think Gradually, I stopped going to class. I stopped showing up. I didn't go to any exams. My teachers forgot I existed because, I was never there. And what I did instead, I locked myself up in my apartment. And when I say I locked myself up in my apartment, I don't know why, but I just felt like hanging out in the dark a lot. So the blinds were closed for a whole week, straight. The blinds were closed. The windows were closed. Everything was just like darkness, and I just had a small lamp here, just we have to be able to see demons, Yeah, like I was just dying on my couch, watching YouTube videos, wrapped up in my blanket, and I'm gonna be honest with you, at one point I stopped taking showers. I was basically living like that old lady that they found in an episode of Hoarders that was living in her own filth. And I remember when Mary over here came to visit me, she was shook. She was just like, why is it so dark in here? And they're just like, what's this smell? Liz, is that you? I was like, yeah, it was really bad. Eventually, it was time to go back to Ethiopia for the Christmas break to spend holidays with my parents. And they were just asking me, oh, Leah, how's school? How's everything? And professional liar 2.0, I was just like, yeah, everything is great. Like, I'm going to class, I'm part of the top students, my teachers love me, I love my teachers, my classmates are I didn't lie about that part. I was like, my classmates are shit. But I was like, yeah, everything's going well study-wise, don't worry. And I just couldn't really tell them that their daughter had been slacking off and living her best life on her couch. If you can call that living my best life. But I tried to talk to my mom about like kind of stopping my studies. She was like, why? I was like, no, don't worry, school is great. Like, I'm a top student and all, but I don't feel very comfortable in there. She was just like, ያምሻል እንዴ እኛ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ምን ልክሽ ለኮምፈርትሽ ነው ወይስ ለትምህርትሽ ነው? Which basically means, bruh, we're not sending you to uni so you can get comfortable there. We're sending you to uni so you can bring home a diploma. Like, get that diploma, get a job, and Yeah, so I was like, okay, I won't be confessing anytime soon. Came back to Lille, and at that point, I was just like, okay, no, I have to get out of here. So I started looking up ways for me to go abroad without having to spend money, because I didn't have any. I was broke AF. And I started noticing that I was getting a lot of ads on my computer, like about, oh, travel to China wants you there, teach English in China. I was like, well, I didn't know anything about China back then. I had no idea what they were doing on that side of the globe. Nada, never even thought of going there ever. But I was like, okay, you know what? China's calling me. Let's check it out. I started looking up ads, websites, job offers and stuff, and there are so many job offers. Like, China has such a high demand for English teachers. I was like, well, I am kind of bilingual, so I started applying. I applied for, it's safe to say I applied for over 40 different jobs. Every time it was the same thing. Like, I would, pass the first round, the application, and then, when it came to the interview, they would be like,
Do you have any teaching experience?
Not really.
Okay, well, do you have a diploma?
Bro, I'm trying to drop out of school. No diploma here.
Okay. Are you a native English speaker?
What about that? It's safe to say it was a no. And also, I was 18, fresh out of high school. So no one wanted to hire me, obviously. But at one point, when I was losing hope, one lady actually reached out to me. She was like, hey, I like your profile. You seem cool. I'll hire you. And she just said that I'd have to teach English at her school and French to her daughters at home. And that she would, I could live with her and her 2 daughters. She was actually willing to pay for my flight ticket, which was a major bonus. I didn't have any cash. So even if I had been accepted for some jobs, I had no idea how I was going to get to China in the first place. She also signed me up for a Chinese language school in Beijing for me to be able to learn a little bit of Chinese while I was there. I think it was just to cover up visa-wise. I wasn't really aware of the visa rules back then, but yeah, she was just trying to get me to get to work real quick. She's like, okay, everything's ready. I need you there within 2 weeks. Yes, I'm going. Oh. Excuse me, would I please stay there? Right. Let me tell you, I was already packing my stuff. I was telling all my friends. I was excited until one day I remembered, I have parents. And they're not aware of this decision I just made of moving to a whole other continent. Oh boy. And honestly, where was I? And bruh, like, I was actually seriously considering not telling them at all. Just telling them once I was there. Part of me was actually curious. I was like, oh, I wonder how long I could actually like keep it up, be in China without my parents knowing I was in China. But after talking to a lot of my friends, they was like, are you crazy? Tell your parents, dude. So it took a lot of courage. I wrote like one hell of an essay and just sent it to my dad on Messenger. And like, I was so stressed out. I had never ever been so stressed out in my whole entire life. Let me tell you, I was getting ready to like, I didn't know how they would react, and I prepared myself. I was like, you know, this might be the part where they decide to cut you off completely, disinherit you. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, just like cut you off, like you don't exist anymore. And my dad's response was actually really surprising. He was like, you should have told me before signing anything. Keep in mind, I didn't actually sign anything before, but I kind of lied and said I had already signed everything just because I was worried that they would actually still try to prevent me from going. And, you know, he was just like, yeah, you should have told us. Well, I'm gonna come to France and help you prepare for, you know, for the move, but you're telling your mother. Bro, when he said that, best mom. Like, my mom is hella chill about a lot of things, but her only child going to some unknown foreign... I was in for like... Anyway, my dad came here, we had a long talk, like, he understood, he was like, okay, like, you know, anyway, regardless of how I feel, what's done is done, you have to be careful there, blah, 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 and also, I really promised that I wouldn't need any type of support from them. I mean, if possible, emotional support would be great, but nothing financial. I wanted, like, it was my decision, so I wanted to take care of myself completely. I was like, you know what, this is probably gonna push me into adulthood, shock me / traumatize me into adulthood, so I'll handle it. That's literally how I hopped on a plane and ended up in Beijing. Oh putain, il y aura tellement de bip. Beijing. And like, it was great. Honestly, I got there, I moved into my new boss's apartment. It was huge. 17th floor. Hella view, the smog and everything. And of course, that's the part where my dad sends me a message and he's like, yeah, I told your mom. My heart stopped. Like, not even like 10 minutes later, my mom called. As soon as I picked up, she was like, Auntie, yes, did? She just started screaming. Like, she started screaming and she hung up on me. So I was like, do I call her back? I didn't call her back. She called me up like 5 seconds later to keep yelling, and then she hung up again. Nothing. That night she called, same thing, yelling, a lot of yelling, asking rhetorical questions, hanging up on me, and she did that for like 2 days straight. And on the second day, actually, she called me and she was all calm and sweet. I was like, is this even worse than before? And she actually told me that my dad, mind you, when he said that he told my mama, like, I was in China, that's literally what he did. He was just like, yes, our daughter is no longer in the country we left her in. Yes, our daughter is no longer in France, yo. Like, our daughter is in China. And basically, my mom thought I had just, like, gotten up, picked up a backpack, found some, like, shady, weird way of, like, you know, to travel abroad. And she was really worried. She thought I was gonna be backpacking around there. Bruh, ain't nobody backpacking. I should have done that. I really shouldn't have done that. Anyway, that's pretty much the story of how I went to China. I'm planning on making another video on, you know, what I was doing there. I took on so many different jobs while I was there. I did a lot of crazy things, and a lot of crazy things happened to me as well. So I think it would be cool for me to share them with you. But anyway, this is it for today. I hope you liked this video. It wasn't much, first video ever, but if you did like it, please press that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. Anyway, thank you for watching.